Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Glenn's Vinyl Records. Today's video I want to do a continuation of what I did in my last two videos, which were 5x5s, and I did 5 albums by 5 different saxophone players, and I made it parts 1 and 2 because there was too many to just choose 5, so I chose 10. But today I want to choose the trumpet players, 5x5 trumpet players, and 5 records from each one that I have in my collection that I listen to the most. So starting off today, number 5 is Enrico Rava, Italian trumpeter, and the albums I'm going to show today are mainly his work on the ECM label. Starting with this one at number 5, Enrico Rava Quartet, and just with him here on trombone are Roswell Rudd, and bass is JF Jenny Clark, and Aldo Romano on drums, and that's a great one from Enrico Rava, just titled the Enrico Rava Quartet. I've got that one at number 5. At number 4 is this one, also on ECM. Don't know if you can see properly there. It's got a silvery cover. It's called AH, and it's Enrico Rava with Franco D'Andrea on piano, Giovanni Tommaso on bass, and Bruce Ditmas on drums. And this is a really good one from Enrico Rava. All his albums are good, but this is great too. I've got that at number 4. Number 3, I have this one here, Quotation Marks, and this is not ECM, this was actually on the Japo label, and it was released in 1974. With Rava here is John Abercrombie on guitar, a whole host of musicians here. Ray Armando's on drums, Jack DeJohnette does some drumming as well. And yeah, there's a lot of different players on here. But this is a great one on the Japo label, Quotation Marks, Rava. At number 2, I have Enrico Rava, The Plot. It's one of his iconic records on ECM with a really nice cover, fantastic cover there. And with him here are John Abercrombie on electric and acoustic guitars, Pelle Danielson on bass, and John Christensen on drums. Classic quartet there. Enrico Rava, The Plot, fantastic music. And at number 1, another ECM, The Pilgrim and the Stars, and this is really good. I think I had this in my video, my top 10 ECM records that I listened to. This was in there. And same lineup as The Plot actually. Rava, John Abercrombie on guitar, Pelle Danielson again on bass, John Christensen on drums. And it's brilliant from start to finish. The Pilgrim and the Stars, Enrico Rava. Next we go to Donald Byrd, and starting off with this one on Sam Records label. They did this one. It's Donald Byrd Parisian Thoroughfare, released in 1958 and on the Brunswick label. And when they do these reissues, Sam Records, they do the flip back covers just like the originals. It's fantastic. It actually says on the back at the top there, Byrd in Paris Volume 2, but the album on the front is actually called Parisian Thoroughfare. It's got Donald Byrd there eating some French fries, probably in a cafe somewhere in France, but that's a great record. That's at number 5. At number 4, I have this one, Bird's Eye View, released in 1956 on Tom Wilson's Transition label originally, and it's a Transition number 4, so number 4 Transition recording. And this is the Tone Poet that came out when they did the 3 Transition records. I think it was last year. Yeah, Bird's Eye View, 1956, Donald Byrd. At number 3, I have this one here, which is a Blue Note, Kofi, and it was originally recorded in 1969 and 70, but not released until 95. I think it may have been, I don't know if it was an LT series, but it was unreleased for many years and eventually came out in 1995. This is a Tone Poet reissue. This one actually came out last year as well, and a lot of great players on here with Donald Byrd, William Campbell, Lou DeBacken, Frank Foster, Duke Pearson, Ron Carter, Bob Cranshaw, Airto, Wally Richardson, Ron Carter, Mickey Roker and Dom Romeo. So that's a good one from Donald Byrd, Kofi. Number 2, I have this one, an iconic Byrd record, Chant. It's a quintet here with Pepper Adams on baritone sax, Herbie Hancock is on piano, Doug Watkins on bass, and Teddy Robinson on drums. And I really listened to this one a lot. Fantastic record from Donald Byrd, Chant. At number 1, I have this one here, also an iconic Byrd record, Bird in Flight. This one here was released in December of 1960. This is a Tone Poet reissue, and it's got 2 different lineups on here. Jackie McLean, Duke Pearson, Reggie Workman and Lex Humphreys. And then the other lineup is Hank Mobley, Duke Pearson, Doug Watkins and Lex Humphreys. So yeah, 2 different recording sessions, 2 bands, but one of my favourite Donald Byrd records, Bird in Flight. Okay, next we move on to Lee Morgan, and at number 5 I've chosen this one, Taru, which has Benny Maupin on tenor saxophone, George Benson comes in to do some guitar work, John Hicks is on piano, Reggie Workman on bass and Billy Higgins drums. And that's a really good one from Lee Morgan, Taru. Probably his most well-known one, I've got at number 4, is the Sidewinder, his classic Blue Note record, with Joe Henderson on tenor, Barry Harris piano, Bob Cranshaw bass and Billy Higgins drums. Sidewinder, Lee Morgan. Got that at number 4. Number 3, we move to The Cooker, and this is really good Lee Morgan stuff. Fantastic record. If you haven't heard this one, you should really stream it or go out and get it. It's got a Night in Tunisia on it, Heavy Dipper, Just One of Those Things, Love a Man and New Ma. Pepper Adams baritone sax, Bobby Timmons piano, Paul Chambers bass and Philly Joe Jones on the drums. Lee Morgan's The Cooker. At number 2 I have this one, The Search for the New Land by Lee Morgan. Joining him here are Wayne Shorter on tenor sax, Grant Green is on guitar, Herbie Hancock piano, Reggie Workman on bass and Billy Higgins drums. Search for the New Land, The Joker, Mr. Kenyatta, Melancholy, Morgan the Pirate. An amazing record. Search for the New Land, Lee Morgan. And my favourite Lee Morgan record is this one, Cornbread. Not one that you'd probably think I would pick as my favourite, but I really love this record. It's fantastic to listen to. With Jackie McLean on alto sax, Hank Mobley on tenor, Herbie Hancock piano, Larry Ridley on the bass, Billy Higgins on the drums. That's my favourite Lee Morgan record if I want to listen to some Lee Morgan, Cornbread. Okay, next we have Freddie Hubbard. And I want to start off with this one at number 5. Quite a dark cover there, if you can see. Blue Spirits. And this one here was released in February of 1967. It's got a great lineup on here. Freddie, of course. James Spaulding on alto, sax and flute. Joe Henderson on tenor. Kian Zawadi on euphonium. Harold Mayburn Jr. on piano. Larry Ridley bass. Clifford Jarvis on drums. And Big Black on conga. So it's a large lineup there. Yeah, great record from Freddie Hubbard, Blue Spirits. Also on the Blue Note label, Ready for Freddie, Freddie Hubbard. And this one was released in April of 1962 with Bernard McKinney on euphonium on this one, Wayne Shorter again appears on tenor sax with McCoy Tyner on piano, Art Davis on the bass and Elvin Jones on the drums. And that's an iconic Freddie Hubbard record, Ready for Freddie. Now we go to some CTIs, and the top 3 records that I like to listen to of Freddie Hubbard are all CTI on the CTI label. Starting off with this one, Straight Life, and it's really good with George Benson on guitar, Ron Carter bass, Jack DeJohnette drums, Herbie Hancock piano, Joe Henderson's on tenor sax. Fantastic record, Freddie Hubbard, Straight Life. That one was released in January of 71, and this one followed it in October of 71 on the CTI label, and it's First Light, Freddie Hubbard, and that's my number 2 album from him that I like to listen to. Great music on there. And number 1, also on the CTI label, is this one, Red Clay. Released the previous year in May 1970, and yeah, if you haven't heard Red Clay before, you should really listen to it. It's a fantastic record. My number 1 Freddie Hubbard record on the CTI label, Red Clay. And we finish off with the greatest trumpeter of all time, of course, Miles Davis. And I want to start with this one, Milestones, at number 5. It's the first great quintet with John Coltrane on tenor, Red Garland on piano, Paul Chambers on bass and Philly Joe Jones on drums. But he actually adds to this Julian Cannonball Adderley, so he's playing alto on this. And yeah, it's one of Miles's great records. Released in September of 1958. Dr. Jekyll, Sid's Ahead, 2 bass hit, Milestones, the title track, Billy Boy and Straight No Chaser. And you really need to have this in your collection if you are a jazz collector. Miles Davis, Milestones. One of the 4 iconic records that were recorded in 2 recording sessions in 1956. There was Cookin', Workin', Steamin' and Relaxin'. And Relaxin' is my favourite of the 4. It was released in March 1958, and it's, the first great quintet of Miles, John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers and Philly Joe Jones. Great record. If I Were a Bell, Olio, You're My Everything, It Could Happen to You, I Could Write a Book, and Woody and You. Fantastic Miles record. Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. With so many to choose from, it was hard to pick 5, just 5, and narrow it down. But number 3, I went with this one, Miles Ahead, which is Miles Davis plus 19, an orchestra under the direction of Gil Evans. And one of the 3, I think it's 3 or 4 records that Gil Evans did with Miles. This one, however, this is the original cover that came out, that Columbia released at the time. Showing the white woman with the child on the sailboat, and they obviously didn't get Miles's approval to use it because he got quite upset when he saw the cover and asked for them to change it. So subsequent versions came out with this cover with Miles on the front playing his trumpet, and this is a electronically rechanneled for stereo copy, a 70s pressing that I got. But that's, the other cover that came out after the original one. So I've got that one, Miles Ahead, at number 3. Number 2, I've chosen this one, In a Silent Way. And fantastic record. Miles moving into the electric period that he'd go on to do further in the 70s. This one was released in July 69. And it basically had the second great quartet on it, but instead of Ron Carter doing bass, it was Dave Holland. He'd come in to do bass, and there were 3 other additions to the lineup. And Herbie Hancock was still on electric piano, but Chick Corea came in on electric piano, as well as Joe Zawinul. So there was three musicians playing electric piano on this record. And of course, John McLaughlin came in on guitar. Fantastic fantastic record from Miles Davis in a silent way. That's my number 2. And probably the one I listen to the most from Miles is this one, Tribute to Jack Johnson, which was, I think it was recorded at Columbia Studio B, New York in April 1970. And it is a tribute to the boxer Jack Johnson, who, there's a couple of photos of him on the back there below Miles. It's a great record. It's more of jazz rock, well it is jazz rock, because Miles is on trumpet here, but Steve Grossman is on soprano sax, Herbie Hancock on organ, John McLaughlin is on fire on electric guitar, Michael Henderson electric bass, and Billy Cobham, who would go on to form Mahavishnu Orchestra with John McLaughlin, is here as well. So that's my favourite Miles Davis record to listen to, tribute to Jack Johnson. So that's today's 5x5, focusing on trumpet players this time. So if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to make these videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
1. Have fun. Ciao.